Hey, it's MK, and today I am grateful for past generations. Yes. Today I decided to pull a few things from a Not Just for Boys Kit Club kit. So I have this Heidi Swapp sticker sheet that is just kind of sort of like dictionary print, but I love the colors of it because it goes really good with the Mintay collection that I picked out. It just doesn't say what collections, or I haven't found on their packaging what collections that they are from, so I don't know what Heidi Swapp collection this is from. I also have a few bits and pieces from I want to say Pretty Little Studio little bit, and then a Simple Stories one as well. You guys, I mixed up my pieces for some weird reason, and I just pulled out all the embellishments and I put the packaging away already, and so I'm kind of like, I don't remember where these all came from, but I wanted to bring in these clouds because of some of the colors that are in my photos as well. So even though the Mintay collection that I picked out was kind of sort of the same tone as what's in my photos, there's also a bunch of bright colors in there as well. And so I was kind of like, oh, that'd be fun to have a little pop of this and a little pop of that. I also pulled out these little raindrops because I wanted to use them as splashes, but they don't end up on my layout at all. I have this thicker sheet that also came in my Not Just for Boys kit that is called Rainbow. And it's different for me, but when I pulled it out, it's kind of not up to par. Like some of the puffy portions are almost melted. It's kind of weird. But hey, I'll make it work. I'm pretty sure an alcohol marker and grunge it up, and it's supposed to look like that. Here are my photos that I will be scrapping, and the Mintay collection is called Suntastic. The colors in this collection, the peaches and the mints and the oh my's, this collection was gorgeous. Now, I wasn't too fond of a lot of the papers, so in my Not Just for Boys kit, it was the papers that I was most fond of. So I was like, oh yay, I didn't have to go out and buy the whole kit and figure out what to do with the papers I don't like. So inside the kit, I had this Bo Bunny paper, as well as this Bo Bunny paper that is called Early Bird. So it's kind of fun. I really do like the tone-on-tone Bo Bunny papers where they have a polka dot and a stripe, or a polka dot and a zigzag, or a polka dot and a bigger dot, things like that. And so I did buy the extra paper pack, so I pulled out another Early Bird because I love how that yellow definitely blends in with this Suntastic paper. And then this one here is Buenos Dias by Obed Marshall. It's my very first piece, and I plan on using that aqua mint color. And then this one is a 49 and Market piece. I think it's just by Vintage, or the collection. I don't really remember. I'm not sure how to say. This one's called Collector by the Vintage Artistry. Okay, so this one doesn't have like Vintage Artistry Take a Hike or Vintage Artistry We All Fall Down. I don't know the collections, you guys. So this one just must be a color one. And then this is the Mintay paper. It's Suntastic that I picked out. Now, this piece did not come in my Not Just for Boys kit. It is just two pieces of the exact same paper. I plan on using the front and the back of both pieces for my layout, because that sunset right there is like matchy, absolutely perfect to the sunset in my photos. I was like so stoked when I saw that. Have you guys ever felt like that when you saw a piece of scrapbook paper and it just goes beautifully, like it was made for your photos? That's how I was here. And then I kind of wanted to do something a little on the different side and kind of make it a little girly-esque by using the opposite side and being able to, have that brick and mortar type looking thing along with the flowers. Because honestly, these pictures, the more that I take of them and the more that I scrapbook of them, it always seems like I'm doing the exact same thing. So I wanted to kind of freshen it up just a little bit. And I definitely could have used that sunset paper all the way across both layouts, seriously, because it would have worked for all of my photos. However, I just didn't know how I would embellish. And with using the brick and mortar portion of the paper, it allowed me to kind of sort of already have a decoration or a foundation to work off of. So it just kind of made it easier for me when it comes to embellishing. So I am taking this, it's kind of a glittery washi tape, not washi tape. It's weird stuff, you guys. It's almost like it's rubbery. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it's uber super cool. I picked it up at one of those weird packs that you get that come with like a bazillion of them in a tube at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or one of the two. It could have been Joann's too. Who knows? But that's where I picked it up. I ripped it in half so I could cover up my border or my seam. I like having that ripped edge, especially on the brick and mortar portion of it, because of the fact that now it kind of matches. I'm covering up the seam, not covering up the seam, because technically I created another seam, but I still now think it's finished. It in my brain, I can cope with it being complete in a way. So I definitely had an idea in my brain when I first started laying my photos out. And then I thought, oh, I don't want to cover up this gorgeous sunset. So how else do I work with this? So what I'm doing is lining up my photos along the border and then putting my dad's photo in the center of the two that are lined up. So that way it kind of sort of definitely gives me that sunset still to play with. Now, I did bring in this doily because I thought that it was light and airy enough to not be a big old huge block on top of the water portion of my sunset. So I thought that it, I don't want to say blended well, but it merged well with my papers in a sense. So past generations, to talk about, I'm grateful for past generations. My family is very, very tiny. I don't have a whole lot of people in my family. I've only ever had one grandmother, one grandfather, a couple aunts and uncles, and slowly but surely, they're all disappearing. And it's becoming a reality to me because it's kind of like it started in it did start back in 2012. I lost my first uncle, and I say my first uncle because it was the first relative that I lost. And it kind of was like, I don't know. It was a shock. He, definitely was in my life. I can't say it was a distant uncle because he wasn't. He was a great influence in my life, actually. And so I just kind of was like in awe of how to handle that. And then it seemed like 2018 comes around and they're dropping like flies. I know that sounds very rude for me to say, but it's the best analyzation that I can put it into because of the fact that, I never imagined this day would come. And so now that my parents don't live in the same town anymore, we try to make it over to go see them as often as possible. Now, my husband's family, they travel quite a bit. And so we do have a yearly thing with them that we like to do. And then his other portion of the family, we also try to make an effort of going and seeing them. But my parents are, and not that my parents are, more special than they are, but my parents are a lot closer than any other relative that we have around. And so it's kind of like a day trip, hey, let's go hang out and float on the river, go be floaters with my parents. Let's go. They have a farmer's market in their, and their town is smaller than ours, by the way. My mom still loves the small town life. She just needed to be closer to her doctors. And so they are 45 minutes away from Reno. Give or take, traffic. And so that's why they wanted to live there, but they had to pick a town that my mom could still get her small town life, but yet still be minutes away from a doctor, in a sense. But yes, the kids absolutely enjoy going over to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and just fishing on the river, floating on the river. The farmers markets are awesome. by the way. And it's kind of cool because it's almost like you stepped into another whole other country when you go into smaller towns than what we're used to. It's just, I don't know, you guys. I love small town life. I really, really do. And I just love spending this time with my parents and how giddy my mom gets when she discovers something new in her new town. It's just so fun. And my dad and all the little projects that he does, he built a retaining wall in the property and all this good stuff. My husband's constantly taking our dump trailer over there for them to use. And it's just so fun. It really, really is. And I am taking in the fact that, it took me a minute, actually a few minutes, to realize what I have and how fast it's gone. And so now I am trying to make up for that by spending all the time that we can with what we have left. Because like I said, I just have such a small family. I didn't realize how small it was until, they start to leave us. And so yeah, I just really wanted to document that, but I didn't know how to document that because we weren't huge photo takers. I didn't start taking massive amounts of photos until after my firstborn was born. And so it's kind of like when I ask my mom for this photo or that photo, she might have one or two left over from a family reunion that we went to or something like that. And it's like no digital copy, no anything. And, she can scan it and give it to me, but they're mostly hanging on the walls in her home. And so it's kind of like, well, I can document that when you're ready to take the pictures down type thing. And I know that's morbid. I apologize, you guys, but it's life, let her enjoy all those pictures. Her photos or her walls are riddled with photos, of what they've done in their lives and the family that they have in their lives and things like that. And so, I'd rather her enjoy it the way she wants to enjoy it than, me scrapbook it and put it in an album. She's not a scrapbook album person. She wants them all over the walls and in her life, like they're there every day. And so that's so amazing. And it's like, okay, you do you. And then, I'll do me. So anyways, I am finishing up with a couple titles. I kind of put 2 subtitles on both layouts because I really like this good vibes only. My dad's just chilling and floating down the river. I mean, that picture is so perfect. It is my favorite picture out of the whole lot. I do have a pocket card or a pocket page to go in the middle of these 2. I just didn't feature it because I didn't want this to be way uber super long for today. And I definitely, will show it with the photos when I post on Facebook. So anyways, here is the layouts and how they turned out. I love that bright pop of blue, even though it has absolutely nothing. I did keep it contained to one side of the layout, but it matches my inner tube really, really well. And I just thought that, it kind of sort of goes with the flow, the lazy days of summer type thing. And so anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. I cannot wait to see what Janet has done. She, I'm pretty sure, is going to go all out because I know she has the photos and whatnot. She has been scrapbooking for way longer than I have. And I do look forward to hearing her stories and seeing what she is going to document today. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will check you all later. Bye.